please settle down. We will begin our session now. Once again, a very good afternoon to all of you. I, Ponchi, on behalf of Reha Council, welcome you all to the session titled Ideas to Inventions, Transforming Climate Action. To brief you about the session, let's take a moment to reflect on what brings us today. This session is truly special and very close to our hearts because it celebrates the very spirit of human creativity, optimism, and of course, innovation. It's about people who choose to respond to the difficulties posed by climate change with creativity and purpose rather than with despair. As we all know, climate change is no longer a distant concern, it is defining challenges of our times. In the era of rapid transformation, innovation becomes the cornerstone of climate action, helping us design, construct, and adapt our cities and infrastructure in ways that are sustainable, resilient, and regenerative. This session will shine a spotlight on innovative concepts, cutting-edge models, and technologies that are transforming the way we approach sustainability. We will explore how creative, scalable ideas can address climate risks and community needs, building urban environments that are not just sustainable but regenerative. And today we have a remarkable lineup of innovators who are redefining how we think about climate action. So here's how the session will flow. We will begin with presentations by our 4 innovators, each showcasing their unique model or patented solution that addresses different facets of climate action. This will be followed by a question and answer segment where all our speakers will join us on the dais for a short and engaging discussion, so please keep your questions ready. We will then conclude with felicitation ceremony honoring our innovators and our environmental stewards who are walking the talk and leading by example through their commitment to sustainable living. So without any further ado, let's get started and dive into our first presentation. Our first innovator is Mr. Kumar Prashant, an upcycling artist, social entrepreneur, and the founder of the Center of Resilience in Bihar, India. Mr. Prashant's work at the Center of Resilience focuses on strengthening Bihar's socio-economic fabric through resilient livelihood, community well-being, and sustainable living. And he will be showcasing India's first climate-resilient floating house project, an innovative solution designed to address the growing challenges of flooding and climate change in Bihar. It's a pleasure to welcome you, sir, and to hear you share your incredible journey. We will start with a short video showcasing his work. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Kumar Prashant.
Namaskar, I am Prashant, I am from Bihar. First of all, thank you very, very much for calling me for this session. And I am representing myself with all those thousands and millions of Biharis who are suffering from a massive flooding every year and the massive effects of climate change in Bihar. And most of you know that Bihar is India's most vulnerable land to climate change. Effects we are seeing in Bihar is probably in the front line of climate change, and that's why every year it's an increase effect we are witnessing there. Are we going to play the video first? Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna play a short video which will just show you what we are trying to do on grassroots level in Bihar, and then we'll start with the presentation.
Herbs that floats during flood, that lets you grow your own food, and that is made completely of natural materials. If that's not enough, its construction has a carbon negative footprint. Sounds too good to be true? Engineer turned artist Prashant Kumar has actually made his dream come true. Moved by the widespread destruction caused by monsoon floods in Bihar, Prashant decided to build a house that would start floating in case of flooding. The result was India's first climate resilient floating house. Built along River Ganga, Prashant's unique sustainable home stays breezy and cool in summers, warm in winter, and floats during the monsoon floods. Everything used in its construction was sourced from within a 10-kilometer radius. Large drums and pipes were recycled with eco-friendly bricks made from cow dung, lime, jaggery and rice. The three-room house also has a dry toilet that turns waste into compost and solar panels to generate electricity.
So this was a short video which talks about what we try to do in this particular project, in floating house project. Bihar is generally known for its trouble, the problems, it's been known for its challenges, but very few people know about the resilience which is happening on grassroots level in Bihar, and not just from our center, but in general in people's life. So I'll just go through the journey. Start the presentation, please. So I am Prashant. I am upcycling artist. My journey started with not very grand opening. One of those Bihari who left Bihar as a migrant to a big city to do engineering. So I spent some time in Pune during the engineering time and understood that engineering is not my cup of tea. That's not something which is going very well with my career. So I left engineering and I became an upcycling artist. I started working with waste material and creating structures, installations, products. Started a company where I was doing interiors, architectural projects in Pune, and was very established myself as an entrepreneur. It was 2013 when I started as an upcycling artist, and till 2015-16 I was very established artist with more than like 50-60 products in the market, all made from waste, from different kind of waste, 5 different segments of waste I was working with, and creating sculptures which was beautifying the city. So those days people, or those days companies, government, everyone used to support us a lot. Media used to write about these things. 2017, something happened in my life, and I changed my life of being in Pune and living a simple life with entrepreneur and earning more money in the city. And I left everything and embarked on a motorcycle journey from India to Scotland. And this motorcycle journey was one of the key change in my life when I witnessed a lot of ground level things in the world. The whole journey was a project-driven motorcycle journey. I worked in different communities, whether it was refugee communities, whether it was serving women shelters in Uzbekistan, or working with kids in Nepal, or working in Kyrgyzstan, different. And that's a whole different story we can talk about later, but since we have just 10 minutes, so I'm going to skip this. In those 4 years of living on road and doing this journey without money, taught me enough to learn and bring all those learning with me back to Bihar, where I was from. In 2000, there are some more images of beautiful mountains which I crossed, but while this journey I was witnessing closely the effects of climate change. Those glaciers which used to be in the places were shifted 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers back. Those places from where you could see, where used to be Aral Sea, this is Aral Sea I was crossing in Uzbekistan, one of the 4th largest water body in the world, which is probably very much dried now. So, huge effect of climate change was everywhere. In this journey, I was closely monitoring and trying to learn different natural techniques of creation. How people used to build their houses, how people used to use everything about life in sustainable way. Like how humans have existed very successfully from thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And what happened in last 500, 600, 700 years that we have to do these conferences to talk about climate change and try to find out the solutions. So in this journey, with my experiences, I was engaged pretty much and become a natural builder. I become a upcycling artist, natural builder, sustainable expert. Like I was doing multiple projects on the way. And while this journey happened, I was also training in the universities, in the colleges. And then in 2020, I returned back to Bihar and established Center of Resilience. For me, resilience was, with my understanding of resilience, it was not a wall we create to stop a storm. It will not work. For me, resilience was to dance with that storm and create again and build something every time more gracefully, with more wisdom and more impactful, which changes from the ground. So, grassroots projects were the projects which I got involved in. Three core pillars for the Center of Resilience was to sustainable living, create projects which are connected to sustainable living, which means how low-tech solutions could be used to generate energy or generate food or any other systems. And again, everything I do in life is low-tech. I don't believe in high-tech solutions. It's not that I don't believe in that, I just don't follow that. The reason is that where I come from, the community I have seen in the world doesn't need low-tech. It doesn't need high-tech. They don't need high-tech. Everyone needs low-tech for a mass population. So one of the main focus area of Center of Resilience is to find low-tech solutions for sustainable living patterns or options. The second pillar of Center of Resilience is to create resilient livelihood opportunities. So in Bihar, we have center where we have workshops, we train people in how to convert waste into useful form or into opportunities so that people can earn jobs. So we have more than 500 people trained in the center, more than 15 people who are full-time employed, and we are producing different waste products out of waste material. And now we are slowly decorating Bihar with our art installations and public art installations. And the third pillar for the center is inclusive well-being. By addressing during COVID time or during like every year we have seasonal flooding, and when flooding goes away, a lot of people's houses are completely gone. Till now, where I belong from, just next door village, this particular year, a village called Javania, if you have seen in the news, if you search, the whole village is completely wiped out. That village is not there anymore. Ganga River came into very high level and the whole village is gone. So the people, more than 10,000 people are forced to live on government road and they are still living there. So we try to see how we can support with the aid for people when it's needed. So these are the three core pillars with the training programs. Since our work is also global, so Bihar is now we are welcoming a lot of institutions and students from across the globe for different training programs. Now I'll move to Bihar Floating House because that's what is the reason I'm here right now. We have less time to speak about it. One of the biggest problems, as I said, for Bihar is flooding, also heat. We have 48 degrees of heat waves. Also we have cold winters, high dense population in Gangetic Plain, and bad governance and job and rest everyone know about Bihar. But also it has resilience and a lot of different things which people don't know, which maybe we don't have to know now. Let's give it a little time. Bihar is growing, things will grow soon, and it will open its door in a different way. So, to address the issue of Bihar flooding, we started on a project in 2023 of creating this first climate resilient house. Now a lot of people get confused, you are creating a floating house, it's not a new thing. So no, we are not planning to create a floating house. The whole idea is to create a house which start floating during floods and go back to its own position when the flood is gone, which means amphibious housing. A house which can be on the water or it can be on the land. It is made from complete natural material and waste upcycling drums. Some of the materials we have used for this is upcycled metal pipes, drums in the base. The idea was again to keep it low cost, to keep it very low cost and keep it very native. The complete structure, I'll just come a little side so you can see it properly. The complete structure was created and sourced within 40 kilometers of the area where it was built. Again, to build this, there was a different challenges with government. Whenever I go to district collectors in Patna or any other places, they'll be afraid to give me permissions. We get to know that, oh, the bridges has fallen down or something else has happened. So in just like 1 month, I think there were 3 or 4 bridges fall down, and everyone was like, no, we can't give permissions. So by hook and by crook, by leaving one district to another, that's how we managed to get the permission and finally build the first one in Buxar, near Bhojpur. Again, building-wise, everything was very native, bamboo, native skills. The people who are building was, again, first time they were like, this guy has gone mad. He's just weird kind of guy, he talks about having water and this and that. But later, the same group of villagers who were working on this, when the video started getting viral, they're like, look, this is our home in the news. And then I realized it's not just a design we are creating, it's a dream we are building. And it's more bigger than, because design you can change. You can work on multiple design, you can, but just bringing that hope that, okay, there is a possibility that we can survive this flooding and we can survive these heat waves. So this house is not just built for flooding. You see, while creating this, we did all sorts of research. I have been personally working with natural material, but this time in particularly, I also used local knowledges, people, 95-year-old guy in the village. I'll go and ask from him what kind of material he used to use to build things. And they will give some information. We used to also put urad ka dal in the mixture. Someone will give some information that we used to also put atta ka lai. Someone will give some other information. And hearing these random informations that, okay, this material used to use, then we started our work on it. We did heat and trial and creation of this for almost a year, and then we found the right mix of plasters, which is still surviving. It's 3 years now. 2023 we built it, and after that 3 years of flooding this house has seen, and still it's on the water. It has seen its complete push. It's been in a very resilient infrastructure. Bihar is also a place of high level of storms. It's an open wind of genetic plain. So before the summer season, we have very high wind. So it has also taken that. It has seen very dense cold winters, foggy winters. It has seen hot summer, and it's still surviving. And we put it in a way, from last 3 years, we have not done any touch-up to it. We just wanted to keep it raw and see how it is doing. So this is how it is. It has its own solar unit. It has a 3 room. One of the room is a kitchen. One of the room, 2 of the other rooms are there. In the front space, if you see, is the open space where you can have your cattle, गाय, भैंस पालना है, किसी को बकरी रखना है. So it's made for a complete village pattern. One family of a village, which have generally 6 to 7 people, can live in this house. It's 900 square feet in total area. It just generates electricity. Now it has started growing food. I'll just show with this model that how this works with the flooding. I'll just try to show you a little bit about that idea, and then I'll come to a future vision, because that's much bigger than what we have created. This is the first step of where we want to reach, and for that we're going to need probably all of you in our team to do this. So, keeping it low-tech, what we used was these were drums. The metal, plastic used drums. We had find a testing that for 10 years, these drums has been tested in one of the project. Generally people talk about the longevity of this. If it is not put into direct sunlight, it can survive for really long time. If you seal it very properly from the top part, it gives really good buoyancy to float. The house had roughly 200 people during the opening time, and it was keeping very well, like it didn't even move. So this side of these corners will have guiding rails. Imagine you have fixed fixtures on the placement where this house will be, have guiding rails. So when it goes up, it can't move right and left. It just goes up here and comes back. Same like a dog system, how you have dogs in the coastal area. So nothing very genius science in that. Simple systems of going up and down with the flooding. Now, a lot of people have questions that floodings generally have very high level of water coming from the mountains. This is site-specific project. Where we belong from is Gangetic Plain. It doesn't have the mountains. So we don't have the same problem of how strong water comes from the mountain and wipe away things. The problem we face is a gradual raise of 4 feet, 5 feet, some places 10 feet, 20 feet of water, which comes and then just stay there for at least 1 month or 2 months, enough to break your houses or kill your crops or damage your lifestyle and your material and your stocks or livestock or animals. So for this particular problem, we created this house. One more thing in this construction is the temperature. Since we used the bricks we created was creating good insulations. Two types of bricks are there we use in this. One of them have more pores in that and it floats also on the water. The bricks itself floats. And during the summer, we tested the temperature of this is keeping more than 6 degrees, 7 degrees cooler compared to outside temperature. During winter, surprisingly, when the outside temperature is 6 degree to 8 degree, inside is warmer more than 15 degree. It's much more nicer during winter season. It's much more insulation somehow. And so temperature is the other thing for this. Now let's come to the larger vision. The larger vision is to create a climate resilient village. Climate resilient village, why I'm saying is, imagine what you will see after 30 years, 50 years, where our civilizations will be. What are the big challenges we're going to see? We're not going to see, our next generation will see. There will be lack of food resources. There will be lack of energy sources. We will not have enough fuel to burn everyone's chulha in the houses. We will not have enough amount of petrol, diesel, all the fuel resources will be very less. The environment will have such a change that you can't do a normal farming, how we are doing today. The traditional farming probably will be not possible. Sudden flash flooding, sudden high level of temperature, heat waves, cold. So a lot of difficulties we're going to see in future. So what will be, how our civilizations will cater to these problems? In a low-tech way again. I'm not talking about high-tech ways, low-tech ways. How our generations of people who are mass population, who are going to need low-tech solutions, how will be they cater? So what we want to do is we want to create a village, a whole village, which becomes cooler when the heat waves arrive, naturally. A whole village will start floating when the flood arrives. The whole village it becomes warm when the winter comes. It can grow its own food in a very systematic way. I'm not talking about just traditional way. In the most forward way possible, like whether it is from microgreens to permaculture, aquaponics, hydroponics, everything I'm talking about. How are we going to do energy growth? And again, low-tech solutions. So keeping low-tech in the mind, how we will cater our energy, how a centralized food kitchen will be needed. Every ghar will not have chulha. How a community kitchen can work. If you 5 or 10 or 20, 30 families are living, how a barter system can work. Or if you are growing potato, someone is growing tomato, someone is growing something else. A food bank is there to make sure that everyone gets everything equally in everyone's house or in their plate. If we not work on this sharing model now, because individual model has led to where we are today. If everyone needs 1 car or 2 cars, it's not going to solve. If every one of us need, and need is there, we always going to need. That's our gene. We have always run for that. So if we are not going to start sharing as a main model, it will not going to go anywhere. And it's my personal view. And that's why a climate resilient village project where community sharing is going to be, and like a community kitchen will work, community function of energy, of sources, of like you can imagine, everything we need as a human to survive. Instead of having 20 cars, why can't we have just 2 cars and a community pool option or a sharing option? For the whole village, we can have just 5 motorcycles, and people can use it when they need it in sharing wishes. So creating a village, and again, not on the river, but we have lowland area like this in Bihar. We have thousands and thousands miles of land which is just lowland. Luckily, in some ways fortunate, in some ways unfortunate, but we still have. I traveled around the globe. I have traveled, seen so many places by land. I have not seen such huge rivers. It's not there. The kind of rivers we have, 3 kilometer, 4 kilometer of chodai width, you don't see that kind of freshwater river in the world. During the flood season, those become 35 kilometers. Gigantic rivers. Where I belong from, Ara, Bhojpur, we have massive Ganga, Son, Sarju, and from top you have like Kosi, so many rivers, and all of them are massive in themselves. And we worship them. We worship them because they are our source. We from Bihar, we think that that's where the human civilization flourished. Ganga Yamuna civilization is the oldest civilization in the world. Gangetic civilization is one of the most oldest, beyond any other civilization we ever known. So, recreating a system, and if we don't create a system which heals itself, it will not work. So we need to think on creating a system, and this village will have that kind of opportunity, that kind of, and again, it might be an experiment. I might die before this happens. But if we don't start now, I don't think we will be able to go, because we are the first generation who are seeing this massive effect of climate change. Before our generation, हमारे पापा मम्मी ने वैसा थोड़ी देखा है. We are the first generation who are seeing this massive effect of climate change, and we are the last one who can do something about it. हमारे बाद वाले के ऊपर में change वो नहीं कर पाएंगे. So, yeah, this is the story I carry. This is the story of Bihar. This is the story of endless hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring presentation, and of course for showing us how innovation rooted in community and resilience can truly transform lives and landscapes. I'm sure everyone present here will agree it's incredible to see how local ingenuity can spark solutions with such global relevance. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause again for Mr. Prashant. Thank you so much, sir. We'll have you back on a dais shortly, and I'm sure the audience will have a few interesting questions for you later. Thank you. So moving on, our second innovator, Mrs. Anushka Ajay, member of the Technical Review Committee under the Hazardous and Other Waste Management and Transboundary Movement Rules 2016 and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. With over 2 decades of teaching experience, she has led courses on solid waste management, sustainable architecture and environmental studies, guiding numerous postgraduate projects on waste efficiency and composting. We have her here with us today to share her vision and experiences in advancing community-led sustainability and environmental stewardship. She will be presenting her work on sustainable solutions for waste and water management, building climate resilience communities. Please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Anushka.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, as we gather under the theme of innovations, and this is for that, I think we should remember that this climate change is not the scientific challenge, but it's a opportunity for designing the solutions. And that is how today I'm going to explain about how this climate change, small, simple activities of local people can have a great impact. These simple solutions related to the segregation of waste, water management, the architects, the innovative, creative minds, and the environmentalists can become the innovators for making the solutions on that. And regarding this, the first example is related to PEHL. PEHL means plastic and e-waste handling for eco-friendly lifestyle. So we know that in urban areas, the major problem related to waste management is plastic. So we have targeted the plastic and e-waste management, and these simple collection drives have actually evolved into a proper structured collection systems, waste collection systems. And this is the example, like simple cleaner drives, but setting up the permanent collection centers. And now we have 1,352 collection centers in 3 states of India. And through this, we are collecting regularly. We have set up the permanent e-waste and plastic waste collection centers. The idea of PEHL started in 2016, and slowly every year we are organizing these collection drives on 23rd of February, and E-Yantran means Niyantran on electronic waste. So on every 26th of January we are organizing these collection drives. The process of this objective is awareness creation, community participation, and promoting sustainability, and the most important, of course, the safe disposal of collected waste. But the process of this mega drives, organizing the mega drives, is not so easy. We have started in 2016, and in that time I used to stand on roadsides to make the people aware about how to please give us the plastic and e-waste. People used to call me Kachrewali, and yes, today proudly I am saying that I am really Kachrewali, which is collecting all this waste from the various cities of India. So right from setting up these permanent collection centers, we are registering these centers. Then we are doing a detailed IEC for this information, communication and education regarding what to collect and not. Today we have more than 4,500 volunteers and more than 11,000 donors in various cities of India. And that is how we maintain the proper scheduling and these collection drives. So you can see that schools and college students are also participating in these collection drives actively. They are helping us for making these drives to run successfully. This is for kit preparation, awareness, collections, etc. And we have a detailed, proper monitoring of these systems. We have a proper scheduling, smooth run of these collections from 1,352 centers, proper transport system coordination, everything is done by the volunteers. This is our journey, and these are some of the glimpses of E-Yantran and PEHL in 2025. This is how I used to sit on the roadsides to collect the waste, and that's why I have given the reward of Kachrewali. You can see that. But what is the impact? Now slowly, as we have organizing this in perfect way, now in this year 2025, we have collected 43 tons of electronic waste and 17 tons of plastic waste just within 3 hours. Now why this has happened? Because of the community participation, what we have done, the IEC in detail, every year we are organizing, and now the people are relying on us that yes, if we give the waste to them, they are organizing it properly. Now it is not, the journey is not just that. After that, we have more than, for the e-waste, we have refurbished more than thousands devices, and that have been donated to the social organizations and rural schools. From that 17 tons of waste, we have made these benches, and these 40 benches have been installed in the public garden of Pune city, and with the labels on that whatever you have given the multi-layer plastic waste, we have made from this. So this, what is important, the people started segregating the waste at the source. We have rules, everything, but without community participation, there is nothing for the success. We require the community participation. And through this PEHL, we have actually started getting the community participation, and this is how you can see this. We have donated the benches. So turning discarded materials into sustainable solutions, how architects can play a role in this, like how this actually the collection drives can help to architects is nothing but the integrated, they can plan the integrated waste collection systems, they can plan the dedicated collection hubs. We have composting units setups in the plant, but we do not have a separate systems for collection of e-waste and plastic waste. So that can be helped for them. Designing e-waste and plastic waste drop-off centers, using material recovery spaces also, that will help the architects. This means the impact of this PEHL or drives for the architects. then the most important impact of it is the behavior change. The people started thinking that my waste is my responsibility, and that is what is they are segregating the waste at the source. That is the most important achievement of these drives, what we have seen, and through this climate collaboration and other things are. The next important aspect of waste management is the organic waste. We all know that composting is not new concept. Everyone is aware about composting. But how many residential complex plants composting units are active? That is the major problem of urban planning. And in that is why I have targeted the organic waste management, and through that, the development of these micro composting units, and these are some of the bioenzymes which I have made at home. So these are completely homemade products, but these are multi-purpose floor cleaners. It can be used as a floor cleaner, room fresheners, washing utensils, everything, and these are completely organic. So you can transfer your toxic-free lifestyle. Actually, you can make your lifestyle toxic-free through these bioenzyme applications. I'm using it for last 5 years. I'm using the waste for making these bioenzymes at home. Now these are what, for organic waste management, I have targeted these composting units. I have started with home composting. Then you can see this garden waste composting units. Showing this to architects is actually a bit, I can say, because these are actually not at all any planning. Nothing is there, no design is there. All are site-specific solutions, but that is having a great impact. So through that, we are harvesting 60 kg of compost after every 2 months, and that is being utilized for gardening purposes. Then I have targeted the residential complexes. All the residential complexes have composting unit, but these are inactive. So I have made the training of housekeeping staff. I have made them trained, and now they are handling, maintaining and monitoring this waste, and obviously 60% of waste. The waste management starts from home. But nobody even, आपने घर के कचरे के डब्बे को भी कभी प्यार से देखा है क्या? If you see that, you will find out 50 to 60% of waste is organic, and if that is getting diverted right from the source, obviously it will going to help for the urban local bodies to maintain and manage the waste management systems. You can see that these are some of the important neat and clean composting plants. Then I have made the awareness drives in public gardens to make the composting, regarding composting, and this is very simple. You can do it at home. Then being educational field, in the education field for around 21 years, targeted schools. And I have seen that I have trained the school students, and they are maintaining and monitoring these composting plants so well, and that thereby diverting the waste from their schools. You can see this, and there are different, like I have just made the pits somewhere. Then somewhere I have used the earthen pots for making the compost, but only thing is that the waste should not go out from the premises or the campus, and it should be utilized at the same. This is the best example of plate-to-plate model which I have set in Rani Lakshmi Bai Girls Military School, which is nearby Pune. It is a school of 700 resident school and with the 700 students. So what we have done is their plant was there, but it was inactive. So I have trained the housekeeping staff over there, and within 3 months we have diverted 10 tons of organic waste, and which is converted into compost. What is important is on that compost the students are practicing agriculture, and they have harvested more than 50 kg of vegetables which were incorporated in their meals. So this is a plate-to-plate model, which is the best example that how you can set up such plants active and change the picture of any village. Then I have targeted the rural schools for making bioenzymes. Here you can see these small students, even the students of junior school also, they are actively participating in making these bioenzymes. Now it is their daily activity that they are making the bioenzymes. They stopped making, the schools have stopped using the harsh chemicals for cleaning of the bathrooms or toilets and washing, and they are using these bioenzymes in the rural areas also. For this also, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Architecture, Sustainable Architecture, MR students, and along with the MIT ADT University, these both universities are doing a commendable jobs in giving this small scale mini laboratories for the students of architecture. Here they are understanding the concepts of treating the waste, because architects plan, but they should know the theory of composting also. And little bit for that, they are making the compost over here in MIT ADT University as well as in Bharati Vidyapeeth. We have utilized the Navratri festival flowers, and that is how we have made more than 100 liters of bioenzyme with the help of students, and that are given back to the departments for cleaning purposes. So community participation, and most important is the impact is behavioral change with the skill development. That is what we can say. And these small mini laboratories can become a climate solutions, what I think. The next example is related to the green design innovations, that is best from waste gardens. So during pandemic, when everything was standstill, what I have done is I have targeted my own residential complex garden, which I have made it from best to waste theme. वहाँ पे उस time पे तो कुछ available ही नहीं था. So whatever we have, so I have called the residents and asked them to whatever they give it to us, whatever they don't want no longer for that. And that is how we have utilized it. You can see we have used the bathtubs, the washing machines, and the construction and demolition waste. And this is now we have planted even the native species over there, which are acting like a biodiversity corridors over here. They are helping the biodiversity also. This idea was further extended when I got the success at my own residential complex. Then I have extended that idea with the municipal corporation, where the ward office terrace garden is made with best from waste theme. And here also we have invited people to give whatever they don't want. And that is how you can see even the suitcase and all the things we have utilized for making the best from waste garden. Even I have set up the composting unit over here with where the leaf litter from the roadsides, which is collected by the municipal corporation, is utilized for making compost. So designing for nature, building architecture with the local ecology, and using native vegetation and bird shelters in this design. The last and most important aspect is related to watershed management and water management in the rural areas. So this is one of the unique example of village Udachiwadi, which is present in the Purandar Tehsil of Maharashtra. What was unique that before 2017, this village comes in drought-prone area, and the farmers were taking rabi crops, but all were dependent on the monsoon, and that's why the profit was not there. Absolutely, there was a major problem relating to farming. So in 2018, when the Pani Foundation, everyone is aware about Pani Foundation. So when the Pani Foundation watershed management work started over here, the picture turned. Now this was like a barren land. The unique feature of this village is students from 4 to 6 standard, they decided to take part in the water cup contest of the Pani Foundation, and they started digging a farm pond over here. So when I came to know about them, I went for their help. In 2018, we were hardly 200 people, and that's why we could dug only a small farm pond. But when the news went viral, and how then slowly the people started understanding their work, and in 2000, the next year, 4,500 people came to help us. So we did all these continuous contour trenches, loose boulder structures, percolation tanks, everything we have done over here. And the impact was that village got first prize of water contest contest rupees 10 lakh rupees. But the story starts here. After that, after 27 years, the wells of these villages were filled up with water. Now now this village has become tanker free since 2018. What we have done, these are the trenches or continuous contour trenches which are made up by us. No machinery is utilized for that. Now these are the after impacts of this. You can see the same picture over here, how the villages are making self-sufficient related to water. Now then we have set up the labs in the temples and on the bus stops, so that every farmer can know about the soil, about their soil, what is exactly to be required for the crops, etc. And this is how the scientific farming is made available to each and every farmer. So this is here also the Bharati Vidyapit students have done the commendable job of making the awareness. They are giving the solutions of water and waste management to these villages, and they are studying that also through their assignments. The important aspect is shift to high value crops. So the farmers are now shifted to high value crops and adoption of modern techniques. Then we have started, Pani Foundation work stopped, that is for just 2 years, but afterwards we have made this Miyawaki forest. And for that we have first made the farm pond, and with the 700 native plant species, we have made this Miyawaki forest over there. What is its impact? This is right now the present situation where the 99% of survival rate of the planted species, and it stands as a living seed bank of native varieties and model of ecological restoration. So this is how you can, these are the students of Bharati Vidyapit College of Architecture emerged. The faculty and students are already present with us today. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Developing the solutions to this solid and liquid waste management is the most important aspect. Through these hands-on projects, basically the students don't just design the structures, they are designing the systems for the sustainability. And so that is how, when the waste reduction takes place, it prevents the land and water pollution. Composting enriches the soil, and this whole circle completes. So at the end, what I can say is Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya, means it is our responsibility to take the care of our Mother Earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your enlightening presentation. It effectively illustrated how community involvement, education, and creative water and waste management techniques can go all together to promote significant and long-lasting change. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause again for ma'am. Moving on to our third innovator, we have Dr. Supriya Nene, Dean School of Architecture and Planning, NICMAR University. Dr. Nene has over 30 years of academic and professional experience in the USA and India combined. She enjoys academics and has a keen interest in progressive approach and concepts of sustainable development. She will be showcasing innovation in patents at NICMAR University for climate action. We are delighted to have you with us today, ma'am. Please, a huge round of applause for ma'am.
Hello. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Is it okay? Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Hello. Yes. Thank you. So just one disclaimer. I am not an innovator myself. I am just representing NICMAR University here. So NIPMAR University is a National Institute for Construction Management and Research, which has uh, the faculties dedicated to built environment such as construction management, project management, environmental engineering, infrastructure management, engineering and technology, real estate and other things. So, and it believes in interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approach in terms of the academics. Having said that, I'm here to talk about the patents that are done by the NIPMAR University students and the faculties. Um, just talking about the patent ecosystem of India, from the 9th position few years ago, now we stand at 6th position in terms of patent applications, and in the year 23-24, India has done applied for about more than 100,000 patents, and the Make in India movement has encouraged a lot of innovators to go for patents and having original ideas development and recognition for those ideas and having business development through those ideas through the entrepreneurship encouragement ecosystem. So a lot of government initiatives are promoting all those with the funds and the supporting policies. It's a very welcoming development here. So, with the at the university, all those emerging initiatives are promoted. A lot of students are working on artificial intelligence and technological developments, and developing patents in the area of built environment, which is a little difficult to do because a lot of scientific patents are there, but then in this area, very few patents have been done so far. But then I think all of us are aware of that. So I will just display some of the, not display, I'm just going to talk about that. NIPMAR is promoting climate resilience and sustainable practices through environmental challenges and renewable energy, waste management technologies. Innovations at in patents are very, they have given, allocated a separate fund for the students and faculty for the patents in the sustainable practices. There are some of the recently applied patents are listed here. One of them is government fund allocation and tracking system over blockchain, and this is developed by a faculty at NIPMAR. Intelligent green building technology integrates smart systems for optimizing energy use and overall living experience in the model building. This is one of the patents. Methods to improve soil properties in pavement layers. This is enhancing soil characteristic for better load distribution and durability in pavement structures for long-lasting infrastructure. And some of the granted patents are excavation site surveillance robot. This is a very interesting patent developed by our faculty and students, which is the robot surveillance system which helps in the deep foundations and deep kind of excavation sites without the human presence in the hazardous areas. There is one more concrete mixer machine which is innovatively developed for quick and even the mixing of the concrete. Then solar power concrete trowel is developed for utilizing renewable energy and it kind of gives even surface, concrete surface, and kind of helps the environment also. So some of the published and filed patents are reusable fire sprinklers with neodymium magnet and brick quality monitoring devices, which is using the AI and technology for monitoring the brick, the quality of the bricks which is made. Then one innovative patent is for improved VGA port with rectangular alignment guide. Normally VGA ports are not rectangular, but having the rectangular port kind of helps you reducing the hardware damage. Collaboration and so NICMAR is looking for collaborative and innovative efforts in the climate action, climate ecosystem. So multidisciplinary approach, as I said, is promoted here, and all the stakeholders are actively engaged. We have the executive education program where we take a lot of classes for the working people into enhancing their abilities and professional skills. And there are a lot of case studies done for successful innovations here. We have a special fund allocated for faculty and students for patent developments and research R&D in this sense. All the master students who are doing their construction management, project management, they are given special funds for entrepreneurship development through their patents, and they are encouraged to write research papers and do the innovative thinking through the latest technologies in the built environment. And the encouragement of this kind of innovations is the culture of the university. So these are some of the areas that are we are working on, such as water security innovations and building materials and sustainable materials, and role of technology in urban resilience, where we have urban planning program, and these kind of technologies are discussed in this area. So in the research initiatives, NICMAR is a very old institution, if you probably know, some of you might know, but a very young university. It's about 3 years old university. So a lot of research initiatives are taken in the past, and the focus areas for future patents and innovations are defined within the built environment ecosystem. And NICMAR is very strongly advocating the industry partnerships, and in that regard only NICMAR has partnered with Griha in this regard, and we are planning to do many more activities in the university for the working professionals as well. Community engagement is also very important through students and all. I don't have the visuals for that right now, but I'm sure you all know that outreach programs and workshops are conducted at the university, and at the executive education programs are done for the architects and planners, and of course we have programs for training the students in architecture, planning and other management programs. So collaborative ecosystem is what NICMAR is looking at, and all of you who would like to be partners with NICMAR in whatever capacity, we would like to welcome you all. And thank you, Griha, for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and that thought-provoking presentation. I hope all of you are enjoying our knowledge session and gaining valuable insights. Do keep your notepads ready and your questions. We will be taking them up a little later. Moving on, our final but certainly not least is Dr. Pori Das, Senior Assistant Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering at Assam Don Bosco University, Guwahati. With over 12 years of teaching and research experience, Dr. Das specializes in water resources engineering, hydrology, climate change adaptation, soil-water interaction, and sustainable infrastructure systems. Her research has been published in reputed international journals and presented at global conferences, with a focus on hydrological modeling, flash flood dynamics, and sustainable watershed management in the Eastern Himalayas. She will be showcasing an active green wall with integrated water-air circulation for indoor air conditioning and purification. We are delighted to have you with us today, ma'am, and looking forward to hear from you. Let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Poridas.
A very good afternoon to the august audience present here. So I'm Dr. Poridas, I come from Assam, and today at this very prestigious stage on sustainability. So you can see me draped in totally sustainable fabrics and sustainable ornaments. Yeah, just to set the stage, set the context. So I'm Dr. Poridas, and presently I'm assistant professor in Don Bosco University, and I'm also a postdoctoral fellow in Technical University in Munich. And my field of research is nature-based solutions. So I work on soil and root interaction of ficus species, and how these species, how these roots can be used functionally for slope stabilization, riverbank stabilization. And today I am here to speak on a very different topic, though it is related to my field of research, but I am here to speak on frugal innovation. So this is one poem which I have written last year, and it is very close to my heart. Though I will not take much of your time, but the first and the last stanzas I would surely like to read, and then it would make things clear, The dark side of human greed, etched in cement and tons of steel. Fallen forests, clogged rivers is all we see, sinking shores and stinking seas. So this is about how anthropogenic activities have damaged nature and the planet. And, to find answers, to address these damages, we again have to go back to nature. That is where sustainable solutions come to play. And the last stanza I would again like to repeat, which answers the thing. So, green roofs, walls, parks sprawling across, breathe life into the concrete mess. Parched, degraded land matted in greenery will deal every climate case. I'm also, as an alumni, because I did my PhD from Frederick University, and they have this UNESCO Chair of Global Understanding for Sustainability. So I'm also a partner in this chair. So they have a declaration called the Jena Declaration, and the concept, because I'm associated with this Jena Declaration, things became so clear, crystal clear in my mind. And in a nutshell, if I need to explain sustainability, I would say, I'll just read out what Jena Declaration explains. The concept of sustainability starts and will only thrive if every person accepts a sustainable, minimalistic lifestyle every day, wherever they are and around the place they live. They think of the people and communities around them for the larger inclusive good of the planet extending to the posterity. It is only through transdisciplinary, citizen science-backed and through frugal innovation inspired by traditional technology, we can address climate challenges of today for a livable tomorrow. So, frugal innovation for climate resilience, which I am here to speak and champion for today. So, in the face of accelerating climate change impacts, frugal innovation is the key to address climate change based on circular economy, regenerative design, and social entrepreneurship. So core principles, we all know they are affordability, simplicity, sustainability, they are modular. You know, what I feel, science and technology should not be in the ivory tower, it should reach to the communities, to the lowest and the marginalized communities. That is when sustainability could be addressed, that is where we can understand the core meaning of sustainability and implement it. And this I understood only because last 1 year I have been with as a consultant on a EU project on ecotourism, and I had reached to the remotest villages of northeastern India. So I started with Meghalaya and Assam, now Mizoram and Nagaland. So I understood it's sustainability and all these big concepts. If they do not reach to the masses in the communities, it is not going to work. So today I'm here to showcase two very frugal innovations. I would call them frugal because they are very quick. Till now they are not published, but this works. And this is called the Pure Cool. It's an active green wall for indoor air purification, and at the same time it also cools the air. And the other innovation, I would say, is called the Rico Brick, which I will also explain in the successive slides. So, setting the context, just briefly I would like to explain about the sick building syndrome and thermal comfort, which all we are aware, but just a recap. So, poor indoor air quality, particulate matter, micro smoke, they really affect the human health and productivity because especially office goers and school children, patients, they're exposed in a prolonged way, and if anything is exposed, we are exposed to something in a prolonged manner, it really causes havoc to our health and productivity. There's a lot of being research, starting from respiratory infections, lethargy, nausea, going to neurological diseases, ongoing depressions among youth, children, heart attack. One of the leading causes due to sick building syndrome. And another thing is thermal comfort. A space is thermally comforting if the humidity is moderate, if the temperature is moderate. So you see, all this sick building syndrome and thermal discomfort, they are interrelated. If there is thermal discomfort, productivity will be lower, human health will be affected. So this frugal innovation tries to tackle that. So what I have done is, this is a plant. This is a system which has plants, and then we have these clay pots, and then there's a fan. Now, presently, if the fan is not working, it's a passive wall. But as soon as the fan works, then it becomes an active wall. And because you see, we have the circulation system. This waters the plants, and what the plants which I have used is snake plant. Somewhere I've also used the pothos and also philodendron, but basically I need to use the snake plant because I cannot give. So we need to use the snake plant, and a lot of research has gone into why snake plant. Because snake plant is a plant which releases oxygen 24/7. Throughout, even in the morning, at night. And then snake plant, because I was thinking in terms of northeast, because we have very high humidity. And snake plant is a plant which is self-sustaining, self-maintaining, it's a weed, and it absorbs humidity. So the challenge is that, the idea was that I will not use any plant, I will use a plant which is self-sustaining, self-maintaining, and it absorbs all the volatile organic compounds. So snake plant absorbs all the volatile compounds, and at the same time it absorbs humidity. So that is why if you water this plant, it's going to die. So maybe in a month or in a fortnight you have to water it once. But now the system is such, because we have this trickling system here. So, and then only splashes of drops, water drops fall. It's not called watering. This one, the idea is that when the water trickles and touches touches the clay pot, and clay pot, that is fine, and impure air from the room is sucked through the fan, and it comes out. And when it comes out, it touches at the back. From the back, it touches the back of the pot, which is this side of the pot, which is wet from the water. So at the same time, it is clean and cool. And this part is airproof. That means as soon as the impure air gets in, it has no escape other than coming out through the rhizosphere and the these plant biomass. It cannot come out for any other stage. So that was the idea. So these are the things. Of course, this one tackles both the problem of thermal discomfort and also sick building syndrome to a certain extent. So this is the schematic diagram. So a lot of research has gone into the number of fans to be used, the plant to be used. Again, the soil. It cannot be any other soil. It cannot be a clay soil. It has to be a loamy soil, because at the end of the day, the air is going to come out through the soil, which needs to be porous. Otherwise, if it's a clay soil, the air will get blocked. It's not going to, pure air is not going to come out. So it's not going to make sense. So this is already in the ongoing process of development, and Professor Manuel Gamiro from the University of Coimbra, Portugal, he's a big shot in terms of indoor air impurity, so he's supporting this. So we already sent the sensors, and so we are testing it in the Indian context. And he's aware that because Northeast is very humid, we stay in the world's highest rainfall area. So he's aware. So he wants this to be tested in Northeast. So some of the initial results, for TVOC. TVOC is the total volatile organic compounds. This is the major contributor of sick building syndrome. So there's been a reduction. So with and without, so this is you can also call it a biofilter. So with biofilter, when we use this filter, there's a reduction, and when we do not use this biofilter in a particular space, so everything is calibrated. So we got the results, initial results. So everywhere you see that carbon dioxide, it absorbs carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, TVOC. And then again, you see, for carbon dioxide, how do we know whether the carbon dioxide is decreasing or not? We try to create artificial smoke. Say for carbon dioxide, we use those sources which produce carbon dioxide by burning egg crate. Then for carbon monoxide, we use some other source, like we burn wood, and for this one, for TVOC, we use paint. Because paint, plastic, everywhere. So we are sitting in the room and we have TVC all around. The only thing is that, we do not measure it, and we do not know what harm it is causing us on a daily basis. The other innovation is a brick. It's called the Rico brick. So it's about circular economy. So here what I did, I used cow dung, I used water hyacinth, I used slag, granulated slag from this iron company, and then mixed together. So, but then I seeped all of them, in a particular, because in my lab I think 75 micron was the limit. So that was, I seeped all of them with 75 micron, and then first we dried this water hyacinth and this cow dung separately, then crushed them in a ball mill. After that, pulverized them, and then seed them, and finally we came out with this product. So it's lying out, you can have a look. So this is the first initial trial, but it's only after 35 days we'll come to know the real strength. So anyway, workability is high, but it's on a water content ratio is higher, say it's 0.5. So that is not good, but still, I think so this is the first phase. So in the second phase, we'll try to try more optimization and simulation to come up with the optimum design mix. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I would like to answer.
Your work demonstrates a powerful example of how thoughtful design and technology can come together to create regenerative, life-enhancing environments. A huge round of applause for ma'am, please. Thank you. As we are running short on time, our speakers will be present here. So if you have any questions, you may please reach out to them directly. Moving on, we will now move on to the felicitation ceremony to acknowledge and celebrate the remarkable contributions of our innovators who are driving meaningful change through their ideas and inventions. May I request Mr. Sanjay Seth, Vice President, Senior Greha Council, to kindly come forward to felicitate our speakers. And I request our speakers to kindly come onto the stage. A huge round of applause for our innovators, please. Sir, I request you to kindly say a few words about our session and to my colleagues.
Honestly, not in my hand. I'm not working on my own. I work for someone else. And the part is, as you know, in our field,
So, thank you very much, presenters, for your very, very innovative work that you all have done. This was the first time that in a summit like this that we are doing something which was hotcake, and we thought, we did not know how it will end up, but the feedback that I have that it has gone off very well. That is what we are supposed to be doing with this. That let's look at ideations. We should take the ideations into constructive outcomes. That's what it is. Normally, there are things that we don't spend enough time on research and R&D, in fact. And whatever we do, that we are not able to scale it up. We do it with an intent that it is just going to end up in the lab. But the point is that if we are able to do research and put it to scale, then I think it really is commendable. And the work that you all have presented today is an example of that. I probably have not been able to see all the presentations, but two of them I did witness. And I am very keen on, I'll probably during the lunch hour I'll go around and I will look at them. And I really want to compliment all the work that you all have done at the lab level to put it to scale. People say that it is, time for machine, AI, all of that. Humans still are very, very relevant in working in this space. No artificial intelligence can outdo the human mind. So we are still there in reckoning. And Yeah, we in Delhi, on the other side, the Energy and Resources Institute, where most of our colleagues are working, as well as in Korea, both of them. Uh, we do a lot of research on building materials and building sciences and all in the Sustainable Infrastructure Program. And whatever we do is with the idea that it should be able to work at scale. That's the point. That's the larger point that we do. We have, I invite you all to our lab at, to our campus, to our retreat campus at Walpadi, which is just on the outskirts of Delhi, on Faridabad Gurgaon Road, where we have a huge campus where largely research activities, not only pertaining to infrastructure, but to all the areas that we work in Delhi that works in, whether it is agriculture, whether it is renewables, whether it is waste management, all of that. I think we have a number of labs which operate. And the Sustainable Infrastructure Program has us, we have a lab which looks at testing building materials for its thermal properties, so that we can put them at use. When we are talking of green buildings, how do we go about fetching material and letting people know where to source such material? So and then we put out such information out in the open source. We are not keeping it guarded to our chest, no. We put it out in the open source for people, for building practitioners, for the end user to benefit from it. Because whatever we are seeing today, even outside the exhibitions that we have put together, the idea is that let people understand where do we source material from, what will it be its impact, how will it impact the design of a building, so that comforts and sustainability and all of those things that we are talking about, it really works. Otherwise, unless and until people don't touch and leave, they will not know. So the idea of putting these exhibitions in these areas is for people to understand. And I must compliment the exhibitors as well as all the people who have come together here. I have a message from the Secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, who was here yesterday for the inaugural session. He said this, that this exhibition is very unique. Please, capture it and put it across to people who really matter, because this should reach the end, people who are eventually going to be using all of this. So let it reach the masses, and that's what we told our event people, to make a video, to get guidance from people, from practitioners who are gathered here, and then let's see if we can, how we can help them promote their products, so that sustainability, unless and until that loop is not closed, we will still be continuing to do discourses and conferences and summits like this in these rooms, and then we will come back and say that, oh, nothing has happened, no change has happened. So if you really want to transform, I think these ideas into actual practice, it's an effort which is required. In the entire ecosystem needs to work. So compliments to you all, man, and to all the presenters today, to all the poor people. It's a learning for us. We are very keen to learn from you all, and congratulations for this very wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, and thank you to all our speakers for giving your time today and sharing your journey with us. Lastly, we have two inspiring individuals who have been leading by example through their commitment to sustainable living. We would like to felicitate them with the Environmental Steward Award for their commendable dedication and inspiring efforts towards advancing sustainability. First, we have Ms. Reva Jingan Malik, co-founder, Primalize. As the co-founder, she helps organizations connect with purpose, fostering harmony between people, nature, and everyday living. Before we invite her on the stage, let's take a moment to watch a short video that captures their journey and the incredible impact that she has created.
On Bengaluru's edge, a 750 square foot rammed earth home stands quietly. One space where most living processes happen: sleeping, cooking, eating, and work for Reva and Ranjan. What makes this home special isn't its size. It's what it chooses to let go of, embracing the idea of energy self-sufficiency and creating cyclic processes.
An inspiring story, a beautiful reminder reminder of how mindful choices and purposeful living can truly bring harmony between people and the planet. I now request Ms. Reva to kindly come onto the dais and Ms. Shabnam Basi, Deputy CEO and Secretary, Griha Council, to kindly come forward to felicitate.
Feels a little different to see your house on screen like this. But yeah, I think very inspiring to hear all of you also. I think your journeys. And I agree, appropriate technology. I think this also thought came from a feeling that somewhere probably we are losing our instinct to know what is right and what has to be done. All animals still have it, thankfully. We as a part of the animal kingdom, I think that's the major crisis of today's generation, this era, that we've lost our instinct. This was our attempt to get that back, because in understanding that what is our normal, probably we are looking for what is our instinct that should come naturally. We've gone a little too away from what ought to be human normal. Us humans as a part of the larger ecology, we are just part of it. We need not be controlling it or taming it. I think that this came from that. And a realization that probably all these conveniences that we all collectively aspire for are the root cause of distancing us from that what is real. And when we are in touch with our real, that gives us the instinct back. I think we enjoy like this. And I hope there are other people also who see value in this. So thank you. Thanks for this.
Thank you, ma'am. Next we have Ms. Jayanakshmi Rayapuru, Principal Architect and Founder, Design Harmony Associates Private Limited, Bangalore. With an enduring passion for nature, a talent in art and music, she brings over 3 decades of architectural expertise to every project. Again, before we invite her to the stage, let's take a moment to watch a short video that captures her journey. A reminder of how individuals' choices can ripple into meaningful change. May I now request ma'am to kindly come onto the dais and Mr. Sanjay Singh to kindly felicitate her. Before we conclude, I request you to please kindly ask innovators to kindly come onto the dais for a group photograph. Yes, Sri.
I wanted to just add one bit. When my colleagues were putting together this session, and when we were curating the entire concept of this year's summit, I wasn't very sure of what they were doing. Compliments to you guys.
It's an absolute honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. So the entire journey has been about how can we be a part of the whole and not forget that we are only a small part of the whole. And the whole attempt has been to align with nature. It's also fantastic to see all the efforts and so many people who are actually here putting in similar efforts. And I really wish to thank her to be in the forefront, leading this by example. Thank you so much.
Request every innovator speaker to kindly come onto the stage to have a group photograph. So, ma'am,